Nithyananda, everyone. I just wanted to share, I don't really know what you know about Hindu Holocaust or what you may or may not know. Uh, there's a lot of things that can be said about it. I know a lot of people will know when they think of the word Holocaust, they think of course, Jewish Holocaust. And obviously it's there's a big history. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. And, one of the things I just wanted to share is, so I grew up in Alberta in Canada, and I was playing ice hockey since before I could walk. And I played ice hockey for about 30 years. And, did a lot of things like that, and ended up going to computer college for a couple years. I worked for General Electric for a couple years, and I studied education, got a teaching degree after 6 years, and traveled to various countries, and ended up working in about 30 different schools with about 100 different teachers, and many different places actually. And so just wanted to share a little bit, I also had that idea, I wanted to live that life. Actually at the age of about 20 was when I got a computer job with General Electric, and they were paying a lot of money, of course, with all the social club benefits and stock options and all that. With the General Electric stock, which had historically been a very good performing stock. And that's it. We had the money and cars and houses and friends and family and vacations and computers and all that stuff, right? We had it from the age of 20. And but the thing is that we often will forget is, I guess number one is you can't eat money. Maybe some people are going to be realizing that over the next year or so, as we have to see where our priorities come out. And I was the same way. I had the pre-monastic family and a couple sisters and extended family and all sorts of things. And our plan was always, you get married, you have kids, and your kids play with your sister's kids, and you go camping and you go on your vacations and you get your job and all that stuff happens. So I had the same plan, right? And to be honest with you, part of the blessing of having so much material things provided quickly at the age of 20 was to see clearly that it didn't bring me a fulfillment, and the people that were around me that were living that lifestyle that were even 20 or 30 years older, it also was not bringing them fulfillment. That was a big click for me. After about 6 or 8 months with General Electric software, I was very clear that I will not stay there. I started planning to leave, just because I saw the people who were working 60-hour weeks and were rushing to meet goals, and they were having young kids and a young family, and they were definitely more stressed and less fulfilled than I was as just a kid coming out of college. So that's the thing. So I had the same idea that I'll be going to the lake on the weekends, and we'll go camping, barbecues, and go to the Oilers games, and that was my thing too. I had that as a big plan, and I had to reevaluate. I even studied teaching as a way to, try to have impact with people in the society. It was something I recognized as important, and that was the plan. It evolved into something else where I was working in schools that were just crazy. None of the kids were taken care of. And so, kids on their own from the age of 7, 8, 9, by the time they hit high school, there's kind of no chance of them getting a hold on their emotions. And I was working in Edmonton also, and seeing all kinds of schools with maybe like 2,000 kids population also, working with all ages from 6 months old up to eventually even youth up to the age of about 30. And children with special needs and group homes and all that kind of stuff. And, worked with a lot of people from Africa, a lot of people from Asia. I used to play badminton competitively. And of course, ice hockey. We played a lot in Montreal and elsewhere. And I just had to notice that my 9-to-5 solution was not going to provide fulfillment. And just having kids wasn't going to necessarily provide fulfillment in my life either. Neither was having a career that I could see, and retirement wasn't giving fulfillment to people in my life either. So I just had to consider, what am I really doing? And I decided one day around August in 2007, after I just finished my teaching degree in Montreal and moved back to Edmonton, and I applied for about 73 jobs, and I had a couple good interviews. And I went into one of the interviews as sort of a community government administrator, and I literally just walked in and out of that interview. It just wasn't in me to pretend anymore, to try to impress other people. And I had studied too long and searched for too long for why we are alive and what our role is as humans and what we're teaching other humans, to just give it up just for a well-paid position. And so I walked in and out of that interview. It was the job that I thought for 4 years I would want. And I walked in and out of the interview. I literally didn't even respond to some of their questions, if you can believe it. I just was committed to sort of listening and being me, and I just wasn't willing to compromise on us finding a solution to life for the sake of having a prestigious title. And I only realized that a couple of days after the interview. I thought, what did you do? You walked in and out of this interview that you've been planning to have, that was the job, for years, and you just act like it was just lemonade with a friend. And I just realized, oh yeah, I have a decision to make. If I'm going to continue to look for a life solution that I had been searching for in university, and realized that even the whole university system doesn't know, New York doesn't know, Toronto doesn't know, Montreal doesn't know. I lived in Vancouver, traveled through Calgary and United States. I was in Sweden for a while. I studied the education systems of China and Kenya also. And I just saw that no one in the world is professing a solution. Even Plato's Republic was just his idea. And I just sort of thought, well, what are we doing? I can't possibly be the only human who ever asked, why are we here? That just wouldn't make any sense. And I just wasn't willing to stop asking why. I remember I was walking down the street it must have been around August 17th of 2007 in Edmonton, a wide, nicely concrete dried sidewalk, looking down, thinking what I'm supposed to do. And it just hit me that I can't stop asking why we're here until I find out. Even having a well-paid job and a summer cottage is not going to answer the question inside of me of why are we really here. I'd studied too much of children's lives and seen too many schools, and the impossibilities they faced living in Montreal, growing up in the inner city, and where they were headed. I just had to find out why. Anyway, longer story shorter, that led to meditation, which led to Bhagavad Gita, which led to Swamiji, and getting the solution as an experience in 2009 at Inner Awakening. And so that was my search from 2001 till 2009. And I got what I was looking for. The thing was, I made a strong decision that in 2007, you know what? I don't know if there's a God, but I'm going to find out. And anything that comes with me can come with me, and anything that leaves me can leave me. But I'm going to find out. And that's what I did. And that's what led me to see Swamiji. And so the thing was, I didn't decide what it was going to look like, what it had to be. I didn't decide. I was expecting that I would have found it through Buddhism. But I went to churches also. I had a lot of Muslim friends in the student councils and student unions in Concordia University in Montreal. I studied Judaism quite extensively, and I read through Dhammapada and I took courses and visited Buddhist temples. The last thing I expected to be was a teacher. The only thing more impossible for me to be than that was some sort of spiritual or religious person. And all these things happened. So anyway, I searched and searched, and I didn't command to whether or not I knew there was a God. I didn't command to God what the solution has to look like. I just said, give me a solution. I'm not going to, I studied philosophy and psychology and biology. I studied in 14 different departments for 8 years in post-secondary university, including a specialized degree in education and a minor in history. And it was just very clear the university system does not know why we are here, and certainly doesn't know how to live it. And so I realized after that I had to find it somewhere else. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to continue looking. And like I said, anything that comes with me can come with me, and anything that goes away can go away, because I need to answer the question of what is the point of all of this. And that's it. Pretty much, I didn't dictate. I think one of the main things is I didn't dictate to life what the solution has to look like. And if I would have, I definitely wouldn't have become a Hindu monk. I would have been a ice hockey playing teacher or government administrator living in Edmonton, Alberta, and vacationing on weekends and during summers. That would have been my commandment to existence. That is what the solution for my life has to look like. But I was more interested in having an actual solution than just claiming I had a solution. So I was open to anything. And that's what led me to the actual solution. So one of the things just wanted to share is we have to remember, if we are commanding existence what the solution has to look like, then we're limiting a lot what solution is going to be given to us. You cannot say, I'm going to hold on to this, and then God, you have to give me everything. If I'm sitting like this, I cannot hold anything else. I've already decided what I'm going to hold on to. The only possibility for life is letting go of what you think you need, what you think you are, what you think you're dependent on, and allowing what life really wants to have happen from you. And fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be experiencing that through coronavirus and what's happening with economic collapse and whatnot, and a need for even basic food. And a lot of people are going to realize that letting go of money in exchange for fulfillment and even basic food provisions for ourselves and communities and relationships amongst us as healthy living communities is worth a lot more than this false economy. And it's not going to be a comfortable thing for a lot of people, but it looks like that's what people are facing. So I just wanted to share with everyone, the solution is letting go. We always see the sadhus, they renounce everything, the world, their clothing, their ego, their jobs and everything. And that's to create the space inside. It may not be necessary entirely to let go of absolutely everything immediately in order to create the space of sannyas, of enlightenment inside of you. But it traditionally very clearly shows that it is a shortcut and effective way to do that. And for a lot of us, enlightenment without doing that may be theoretically possible, but practically impossible. So for real fulfillment, we have to trust that if I let go of what I think I need and what I demand that existence has to provide for me, that it will continue to provide for me as it has provided for me every single day of my life, even though I may never have sat down and said, please keep me alive today. But every single day it's done that. So I wanted to share that. There's an opportunity now for everyone to stand up and dedicate your life to nonviolence. So much violence, whether it's youth violence or drug abuse, schools, families, societies, communities, police forces, organized media mafia, environmental destruction. The list goes on and on and on, facing youth of today as an impossible society to grow and live as a fulfilled human being. There is a solution and it's there. It might not look what you think it has to look like, but if you're willing to let go of what you are demanding from life, then I can guarantee that life will provide you for everything that's needed and much more than you can handle if you're holding on to something small. So I wanted to share that. There's a big program starting in about 5 hours from now for all Inner Awakening and Paramashivoham and Shiva Diksha initiates. And that same program is starting approximately 16 hours from now, United States timing, but 16 hours from now anyway. So that program is running twice. I am Nithyananda. So that is there. There's a link here for that, for joining that. I just have to share for any of you who don't know, if you got to the end of this video, I suppose I should have said it at the beginning. Wherever you are, if you want a solution and you're serious and you actually want a solution and you really want to change your life and you're committed to it, there's a simple guarantee. In 16 days, you can have a beautiful initiation and support from a worldwide group of sannyasis, Hindu monks, and all people living all around the world, how to do that, how to live in a sustainable way, that even if money's taken away from us, even if our house is taken away from us, even if what we think we need to be happy and fulfilled is taken away, we can live like Buddha. It doesn't mean you can't have the things outside, but as we see now, when the things outside, the freedoms, the travel, the visiting people, the going to places, the movies, even the food is restricted, we tend to fall quickly into depression. There's a solution, and if you want it, you can have it. It's there's a donation, suggested donation with the 16-day Paramashivoham program, but what was on the tip of my tongue was to say that it's free, and it's literally free. If you want to change your life, this program is free. And you'll learn how that's possible in the program. And we're talking 2 weeks. It starts just the day after tomorrow, May 7th to 22nd. You can join late, but obviously sooner is better. So I just wanted to share with everyone, if whoever you are, wherever you are, if you want a solution, it's available right now. And it's in the form of a 16-day program that has ultimate, complete global support for everything you could ever think, need, or want after that. And like I said, the program is free of cost. If you have questions about that, please contact me and I can share further with you about how to manifest this in your life and share more experiences from people who have obviously experienced many things in the world, and especially now with how we're seeing things being changed because of coronavirus, how we can continue to cope when we see how difficult it is for the young generation to cope with just being with themselves for a few hours. There's a solution, it's available, it's time tested. It may not look like what you think it has to look like, but we also know that the life that we thought had to look the way that it should look has not been fulfilling. So sometimes big things come in small packages, and the best things come from unexpected places. So just wanted to share that quickly along with everyone, and thank everyone for sharing all your time and experience over the past couple months, and all your hard work and breaking of patterns and sharing of the ways that you have found to go beyond your own limitations, and by extension of seeing that and experiencing that, having that happen inside of each one of us. So thank you, everyone, and we will be in touch very soon. Thank you. Nithyananda.